Hello YouTubers, once again welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today I shall be taking a look at the Master, a scene from the end of time. Now this figure was released early on in 2010. It was released in a wave which was known to many Doctor Who fans as the End of Time wave, and it also included the narrator, played by Timothy Dalton, David Tennant injured, and the first ever Matt Smith action figure. It was released around the same time as the Classics Wave 2, which included the figures such as the Ice Warrior, Morbius, the Master from the Deadly Assassin, and the Cyberman from 1982's Earthshock. So there's quite a bunch of figures that were getting released around early 2010, which was much of a delight to me, as many of you know, I am a action figure collector enthusiast. I've got many Doctor Who action figures, and this figure is quite good. There's quite a few good things about this figure, but there's also quite a few bad things about this figure. But first of all, let's just take a quick look at the articulation. Now, first off, the articulation is very standard, as you come to expect now. It's very standard with the arms and the legs and the head, just like any other Doctor Who action figure, or most Doctor Who action figures, regardless of whether it's from the classic or new series. The detail is also quite good as well, especially on the head. It looks like John Simm, although the hair is a bit baffling. Now, to me, it just seems like they've used the same hair from the original John Simm Master action figure, and it's just really odd. It just looks like they painted all over the hair. On the prototype pictures, you can't really see this. It looks alright in the prototype pictures, but here it just looks a bit meh. It's just really odd, because you've got brown here, but then it just goes all blonde. And of course, if you've watched The End of Time, he is blonde because it's something to do with his resurrection going wrong, and as he's getting resurrected, Lucy Saxon, his human wife from Series 3, chucks a sort of antidote or potion, whatever it is, into his sort of resurrection thing, because he's like in the air at the time. He's like hovering in the air, and there's like this whirlwind going around him, and then it explodes, but he survives and ends up blonde. Also note, there is no sort of stubble on his face. I mean, there are marks on his face. You can't really tell on the camera. It doesn't really do it any justice, but it just seems, I mean, if you look at it from that angle, it looks like he's got stubble. And I think in real life, though, it looks a bit better, but it just looks like they've just put a bit of dirt on his face, which was evident in the story because he did have dirt on his face as he was in the Wasteland, when he was like kicking the 10th Doctor's arse, when he was like shooting electricity out of his hands. And the lips as well. it just looks like he's got lipstick on. And I think the actual head sculpt, though, it might be a different one. I don't really know, as the other John Simm figure I've got is in my room, and I can't really be bothered to compare. But I think it is quite different, which is fair enough. But it just seems a bit... There's something about it. It's a good figure, but it's a bad figure. And likewise with the articulation, as I pointed out, it is usual, but it seems a bit stiff, which again is quite odd. But doesn't really bother me, as I don't move figures around that much. I don't play with them really. I just put them up for display with all the others. And the hands are good as well. I think they're alright. Just have a look at the hands. Maybe able to see that there is a difference. It seems a bit more detailed than before, which is good. One thing I would have liked, though, on this figure would have been an interchangeable head. Now, that would have been absolutely brilliant. They should have given him the interchangeable hands and interchangeable head. Then he could have had the skeleton hands, or maybe electricity coming out from his hands. And they could have given him the skeleton head as well, which you see throughout both parts of the story. I think they missed the trick with that, and instead they just released him like this, as you can see him now. He comes with no accessories, as he doesn't have his laser screwdriver anymore by this point. But it would have been really good if he'd just done that. I think then I would have liked this figure a lot more. As for the body of the figure, though, I think it's really good. You've got dirt all over it, scratches. I think it's really good. You've got his hood here. Makes him sort of like a chav, a bit like the Rose Tyler Series 1 action figure. I think one other thing they could have done, maybe they could have had a removable hood, one like that, as you can see it now, and then one over his head, a bit like the Peter the Winder figure from Series 5, if you got that figure, you know what I'm talking about. And again, they missed a trick with that. But all in all, around the body, it's really good. You've got the pocket here, which I think is very good. I think that's how it looked. It's very modern, like it's what teenagers seem to wear nowadays. And got the bottom here painted red, like his red shirt. I think it's really good. And the legs are black. Again, you've got tints of dirt, especially on the shoes area, you may be able to see. And I think it's really good. And I think that makes up for the odd hair thing going on, because I think it should be blonde all the way through. If they just painted that bit, then I think it would have been a lot better. It sounds so stupid, but that's my opinion. We've also got a little bit of red there as well of the shirt. That obviously that just goes down. It sticks out the bottom here, and that's really it, really. So, if you like the Master, then of course you have to get this figure, because it's a Master figure. And I like the End of Time. I think it's personally a good story. I know I'll get a lot of stick for that, but hey, it's my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this action figure review, guys. Tune in next time, as it came to pass. I will be reviewing The Narrator.